Before you watch this video, I want to make it apparent that I am only showing the arguments by Skywise and not showing Elfin Lee Guy's portion of the video because it saves time and I assume you guys have already seen the man's video to get the context. If not, then I have a link to the guy's video in the description below, so go watch it before looking at this. It's highly recommended. Then tell me this, Skywise, how come whenever anyone makes a video calling him out, no one is seen defending him? What does being a brother with Christ have to do with him being stupid? You guessed it, folks. The theme today is white knighting. Well, okay, I can use that argument on you too, because he also used that same form of view when he admitted to flagging, which can be taken as he flagged me as well as the others you mentioned. You see, this is me using your logic against you. So yes, that's still proof. So you're saying that him trying to hide from people getting suspicious about him isn't a sign that he's hiding something from people? I'd hate to see you in detective work. That's because you cut off his argument before he could finish it, because the guy does explain why in literally the next second after he proceeds with the video. Good to know you're just as hard-headed as your friend. No wonder you two seem to get along. Aww, aren't we a left-wing leaning parasite? Great job, genius. You just further added to his suspicion. Trying to distance himself from us is exactly why we see that he's suspicious, and you're just confirming our suspicion to be correct. Sir, so far your only attempt to rebuke his arguments is by being a grammar Nazi. Are you actually going to make a point, or are you going to play English teacher all day? No, you brain-dead scuzz monkey. He's liable for hiding from people's suspicions and accusations. For someone who complains about context, you certainly don't get the context either. Also, you trying to say that his red flag is unjustified all because of his grammar? I don't even need to make a joke, it speaks for itself. Excuse me, how are you refuting this guy's argument again? You say download the video before commenting, yet we're not talking about videos, we're talking about comments. You can't download YouTube comments. You can screen cap them, which is exactly what I did and sent the screen cap to Elfin Lee Guy. Irony that you're complaining about Elfin Lee Guy for whining, yet here you are doing the same thing. You're whining about people calling out SuteUp and his obvious attempt at lying. Also, how is removing comments an offense to people? That's like when Hidden Chambers thought deleting comments is trolling. And the tone of his video? That entire video was practically text. How do you get tone from text? And telling him to deal with it? Guess what? I can say the same thing about SuteUp and people bashing him. Yet here you are trying to defend him from it. Can you say one-sided? Actually, it is concrete. If you're being accused of something, then why would you try to run away from the accusers? That's the exact definition of suspicious. So people who call him out on his obvious contradictions and suspicions make them pests now? Okay, great to see where your ignorance comes from. Also, how is he not trying to cover his tracks by deleting things so people don't see them? And trust me, he doesn't need our help to defame him. He does that perfectly fine on his own. Irony that you're complaining about Elfin Lee Guy for whining, yet here you are doing the same thing. You're whining about people calling out SuteUp and his obvious attempt at lying. Also, how is removing comments an offense to people? That's like when Hidden Chambers thought deleting comments is trolling. And the tone of his video? That entire video was practically text. How do you get tone from text and telling him to deal with it? Guess what? I can say the same thing about SuteUp and people bashing him. Yet here you are trying to defend him from it. Can you say one-sided? Oh, so now there's suspicions. Funny, because that's not what you were saying throughout this entire video. You know, those times where Elfin League guy would say that he's acting suspicious, yet you tend to argue how it's not in context. You don't remember saying that at all? Must have slipped your mind, didn't it? I love how you accuse Elfin League guy for having misguided ideas, yet this is coming from the guy who keeps pulling the context card just to make things look more convenient for SuteUp. Keep it classy there, Skipper. So you're going to call out Elfin League guy for misspelling a word because it takes everything out of context, but what happens when we look at SuteUp's comment and take the context of what he's saying because of his spelling that we see clearly in front of us? You call us misguided. Does the word hypocrite mean anything to you? I'm skipping most of this because all he does is continues to be an English teacher and not even argue with Elfin League guy on anything he says. Can I ask you something, and I'm being serious when I ask you this? Were you homeschooled by Trailer Trash? Because your intelligence is lower than a rock. He's pointing out SuteUp's hypocrisy and calling people ignorant, yet ironically, he's ignorant because he's constantly treating people like what they say about him is slanderish and non-existent. Oh, and you want proof of him throwing scriptures at people? Okay, here you go. There's one little problem with that statement of yours. He hasn't sincerely apologized to us yet. Funny how you complain about Elfin League guy for being slanderish, yet I can recall an earlier point in your video where you're mocking him for his education. Now, isn't that slanderish? Oh, and trust me, it's not that hard to get your friend angry. Just make a joke about babies and he'll think you're a heathen. I should know. Funny because I can say the same thing about you because you've established that you don't even know what the word suspicious means, and ironically, the one word you constantly use out of context is the word context. Also, why are you suggesting a dictionary? He knows what the words he's using means, he just can't spell them. There's a difference, you know. Oh, a way to insult his fans, you know, something you just got finished lecturing Elfin League guy for doing? Insulting? How do you not give Christians a bad name? Simple. Don't use God or his teachings as a shield from people who call you out. Also, if no one can forcibly convert anyone, then why does it seem like he puts so much emphasis on us suffering because we don't see eye to eye with his teachings? Sounds like he's trying to intimidate people to become Christians to me. Oh, I have a name for you. I can call you some brain-dead scuzz monkey who doesn't know how to read. It's also hilarious how you complain about Elfin League guy for being ignorant, yet you defend SuteUp's ignorance all because we took it out of context, or so you say. And to add insult to injury, your reasons for calling Elfin League guy ignorant are, you guessed it, out of context. You see, people, this guy is what you call a walking paradox. Now, I tried to say a few things on this guy's video in which he responded to me to try again because he's an ignorant guy who only listens to the tune of his pipe, which I tried, but there was one problem. The guy blocked me right after telling me to make a response back to his comment. You know who he reminds me of?
Greetings everyone, William0737 here with another rant. In the words of Big Al, you get more out of life with honey than with vinegar, but my honey pie is dried up and Pooh Bear is pissed.
Funny thing is, Skywise basically is William if he was a Christian.